115. Episode 115. 115. I mean, we could wait for a little bit to see who shows up, who comes on, who jumps in, who
we out here.
comes through.
What's up?
As we start up episode 115 of the Lyrical Ones podcast. See what we get cooking. What gets cooking? As everybody starts to arrive, come in, show up.
Announcements coming.
Announcements incoming. Definitely announcements incoming. See how this comes together. See who shows up.
Film screening for those in the Bay. Popping off this weekend.
Oakland, Sunday, noon.
New Parkway Theater. Regentrification.
Yes, a documentary produced by Lyrical Opposition, directed by Figo Navarro.
Yes, that same Cafe Con Leche, Figo Navarro.
Yes, the same Up at Night, Figo Navarro, as the producer of the movie, jumps into the comments. I know you can't see it, but we got Shannon coming through.
I still got no comments. Actually.
Yeah, I don't understand why it doesn't share it. Technology. But yeah, Sunday, August 28th, 12 noon, New Parkway Theater, the regentrification documentary will be shown. It is a free event. It is filling up. We just reviewed how many people signed up to come through. So it is definitely filling up. If the link isn't in the bio of regentrification account or at Lyrical Opposition, where's the wave function? The wave function is everywhere, I guess. There you go. That's Affluence wave function. So yeah, it's one of those things where I guess you gotta go to. I could ask questions.
Bro, I drink this water so fast.
Oh, it's going already? So many people had joined, I can't even wait back. This is a trip.
It's 30 ounces and it's going like that.
30 ounces. See, I messed up. I had a workout and didn't drink enough water and felt the difference of my output and performance. Now I'm hyper mindful. Course correction.
That's all you can do is, take account of the score. Say,
I did.
I could have scored more.
I reviewed the numbers from last week compared to this week, and I said, these do not add up. That's because I did not drink no water. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's why it adds up to what I got.
Well, that's why we superstitious in the pregame.
Yeah. Let me go do my routine and performance. So, Lyrical Ones, episode 115. We are live, Instagram live. Affluent, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well, man. I'm blessed. There's a lot of active things going on. Got it. Middle school popping off for the young one, and PE is kicking butt right now. And I have to say I'm excited for this shift. And I'm a try hard. I'm one of those people. So I like the folks around me to be a try hards too, right? So at the same time, I accept those who are not, and set their boundaries and say, this is not where I like to, enjoy stress. And that's okay. But I found that physical stress allowed me to not be resistant to stress outside of physical activity. And it allowed me to acknowledge how I respond to stress and then choose and respond differently. And help me interact in a more healthy way with people when I'm under stress. And so I'm like Kanye on the corner. I wish I could give you this feeling.
I feel that. I hear that. I mean, my former ego-driven, stupid self. I remember early adulthood. I was like, they ain't gonna give you PE no more. They ain't gonna force you to go to work out now. What you
Oh
gonna do?
yeah,
What
it's
you gonna do?
real.
I used to be like that with everybody I knew. I was like, oh, we ain't got PE no more. What you gonna do? Hmm? And now it's just I hope you can get the chance to have physical exertion. I hope you get the chance to have some some place to feel comfortable, to feel safe, to explore your body's physical functions, to be able to, because it is a thing where if you don't use it, you will lose it, right? It is a thing where the more time passes and advances, it's your engagement that makes the difference for how your body reacts to it. And and it's a reflection of what I've seen in my own family, where it's like
Mm.
being a child and seeing them walk around, do and run, and to then as I got older and was able to function more, their functionality started to lessen. So I feel you, like PE, especially like middle school PE, man, this ain't recess, right? This ain't, oh, we gonna do the random one-off kickball game as a class. This
Nice
is
drills.
this is drills. And the thing is, going to the try hard. I'm trying to remember the catchphrase we were saying last week as we were discovering the um, impact of what Pac-Man. I felt like it wasn't Go Ultra, right? It wasn't,
No, let's go
my
legend.
Go Legend, right?
Go legend.
So when you try hard, right, and you go hard, then you go legend, right? And so I remember middle school PE, like, when they would have like the finals, you'd have to do all the drills and the tests. And I remember I must have cut like 3 periods because I just got in the zone of continually running, doing suicide drills for like 2 more periods. I was just like, and they were like, you need to go to another class. And I'm like, they're not doing nothing. I'm staying. And I was like, who got 115? I'm about to take it to another level. And I was like, I was just entranced, like with
Oh,
the
over
ability
nine,
to just
over
go.
9,000. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, and right, funny enough, Dragon Ball Z was such a huge influence for me and my physical connection because being young, you don't have a barometer on limitations. You just see that's me, that's my life. So now I'm gonna take it to level 9,000. I'm gonna go Super Saiyan,
All I know
and
how to do is go. Go
that's all I
legend.
know how to do is go. So I remember like I would be in gym class just running nonstop, trying to like, do the most push-ups, do the most sit-ups, right? They got the tape playing, right? The CDs on a loop, right? And it's like I'm gonna push myself to my absolute limitations to see how far I can go. And then when I departed from it, from the practice and the routine, mentally I felt the difference as much as I felt it physically.
Mm.
To now, I know that it is a vital part of my balance, right? Just as much as I meditate and pray, just as much as I need to educate myself in many ways, just as much I need to reflect on my life and my emotions and feelings, I need to physically exert myself.
Bro, I really like the fluctuation. I really like putting my body into one basically hemisphere and then shifting it to something else. Over the years, I've done that where I've chosen activities that would shape my body to do one thing and then shift it into doing something else. Yeah, basically. I was always about like setting a limit, right, and then surpassing it or shifting outside of what I was comfortable with and going into something else. And I was lucky to be like exposed to all these different forms of sport and activity and athleticism in a way that repetition became something that was right dope to me. And it wasn't something that, oh, this is too boring. It was more like, let me find out where the secrets are, right? Let me find out where I can freak it and make it my own. Um, it's interesting enough, that we get to have this day, right? the Black Mamba Day, we get Kobe Day, we get 8/24 Mamba Day to celebrate someone who like to use the term dominate when it came to improvement, when it came to focus and immersion into something, right? It's like dominate children's books, dominate retirement, dominate rest, dominate humility, dominate, right, compassion. I wish Joe Biden would dominate, right, student loan debt, right? I wish Joe Biden would, dominate the GOP. I wish he would dominate bipartisanship. I wish he would, dominate, free healthcare for everybody. Like maybe we should be looking at the debt for medical bills that was really about something, right? That would show a shift in culture. Like not $10,000 here, $20,000 there. If you went and looked at the medical bill debt and said, let me look after these veterans. Let me look after these folks who will never have a job again, but have medical bills they got to pay. Because some of those folks are artists. And when I think about artists in the aspect of domination, I look at athletes, dancers, right? Folks who use hand-eye coordination, their linguistic skills, musicians, vocalists. It's funny because as we get ready for this announcement, Simone Love, young Josh in the building, the bruh. As we get, close to this announcement about what's happening in September, I had my my metabolic groove class listen to some jazz today. Had to find the right one. But I played Duke Ellington and Kate Davis Translucency, which was originally called Blue Light. And Duke Ellington wanted to use the voice as an instrument. And he wanted to bring back wordless vocalizations, wordless singing in the 1940s, recorded in 1946. And, Kay Davis passed at 91, but she was part of a trio of other singers, two other singers, female singers, and he used their voices on Translucency. It's one of my favorite jazz songs. And when I think back to athletes like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or LeBron or even CP3 and Steph Curry, or like a Russell Westbrook, right, when he's in his prime, there was some artistry to their game that captured people, right, their imagination, their dreams, their goals, to the point of like, oh man, maybe I could be something similar. And a lot of times we always talk about sports being an escape, right? Escape from the realities of everyday life, or some form of identification. Like I'm with this team, right? This is my team. This is part of who I am. And when the team loses, I lose, and when the team fails, I fail. And to a degree, right, the team is like, let's make this foundation. So we could say that it matters to us, right, that when these children or these families or this community fails, we fail. And so we're going to invest in these communities. But if those communities fail, it don't really harm the sports organizations that much. Maybe, people call out the foundation for not doing enough. But for the most part, the business aspect of the corporation still rocks the same. And as you was talking in the pre-show about a producer, misusing his position to assault a young artist, I think, how are corporations, right, assaulting people around? Oh yeah, you pass through anytime, man. I just gotta be myself with these glasses, man. God bless you, Sewer, bruh. Love you, man. Nah, it's all good. I don't want that. What up? Almo. Um, but yeah, it's one of those things I always think, like, how are the corporations really looking out for folks when when communities are struggling and they have an opportunity to do more than exploit or use them for their own gain.
No, definitely. I mean, just as much as it goes in both directions with, right, looking at the corporations and corporations looking out for us, right? It's like we we have the ability, right, just not to, like, going from the place of physical engagement and how sports become this place of escape, how the sports becomes this transformative. I was watching an interview today of Cameron talk about he lost the championship and became depressed over it, right? How
Killer.
he hit Killer Cam. He became so distraught with the loss and took it so hard and so personal that he couldn't focus on school. School was the last thing on his mind, right? Life creeped in, and his focus that he had and his determination for athletics was all put into this championship game, right?
Right.
And it's like, good luck, Almo. But the point is that how much we invest and how easy it is for others to scoff at and belittle and minimize someone's passion for sports, because sports is a can be a transformative medium for more, right? Because just as much as a neighborhood or a community can be impacted by the wins and the losses, right? It's also about the individuals who take that energy and are able to make the most of it, right?
Next episode 116. I'm gonna hop on next week. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, brother. So thinking about it, it's just one of those things with physical exertion, thinking about the team dynamics, thinking about how, yeah, there is this corporate element, right? And you can't have one without the other, right? It's a, we don't have it now. That's what I'll say, right?
Yeah.
It's not to say that you can't have one without the other. It's that where it is right now, right, is we have it represented in this way where it's all included in this symbiotic relationship. Not to say that it can't be evolved into something else in the future, because I see the importance of what it does for people to have those ties, to have those allegiances. And it is something where, yeah, like the corporate aspect and the influence that, yeah, these entities hold as companies, these entities hold as money making opportunities. Um, it's easy to lose sight because, yeah, even some is beneficial as fitness. Once so many titles and words get thrown in, then it becomes about which way do you go, instead
Man.
of defining the relationship for yourself, refining the relationship for yourself, to then discover what is the meaningfulness and what it is you do versus what's the trend, what's the next thing, what's the next activity, where it's not about, your wellness is just about the exhaustion of
Mm.
economic output, right?
Man.
Like, oh, consumerism in the color of, are you drinking milk? Consumerism in the color of, are
Are you
you are you
man, are you eating
participating in
eggs?
this?
Are
Yeah.
you right? Are you drinking coffee? Are you chewing ice to lose weight? Are you drinking this skinny tea? Are you doing this or doing that? Are you wearing this apparatus to sweat more? Like what can we sell you that, yeah, like period, like not even for your health, like what can we sell you, period, like what will you buy, right? Because it's really the consumer that determines the price of something. If no one buys it, right, it is not being sold for whatever they charge it, right? It's like certain like massage oscillation devices, right, get priced at a certain threshold, and right, if it's advertised right, if the consumer sees the right people using it, and say, oh well, if PG-13 is using it, then I can rock with it too. But did you ever need it? If you were stretching and foam rolling, was it necessary? If you were doing full range movements, was it necessary? If you were practicing isometric holds, like were you already in a routine of preventing injury? Nando said, corporations equal not about bettering anything, just about making money. For sure. They focus on their bottom line. Almo Thug hit us with that. I remember back being in 8th grade and my science teacher had mentioned drinking milk was a great way to gain muscle. She said that when lifting weights, working out, your bones break. So during the healing process, drink milk to gain muscle. This is it was a simplifying that you need calcium and simplifying that you may need nutrients like vitamin D, which helps with cartilage and bone density. But working out itself actually helps with your bone density. Doing resistance training and physical exertion and activity, exercise helps with that. And of course, protein, increasing the muscles that support those bones. Having a surplus of protein to repair the muscles, because you actually don't get stronger in the workout, you get stronger in your recovery. She should have been telling everybody to get plenty of rest and go to sleep, go to bed on time. That would ensure that you heard it from multiple places instead of just at home. But some people don't hear it at home, so it would have been an important detail and piece of knowledge to drop, telling people to rest more to get stronger.
Yeah, sometimes teachers don't even know what they're teaching. So, it's something that you have to be mindful, critical of, and seek out the answers, or be, ready to receive them when they do come. Because it is a thing where it's like, man, when you think about something as simple as a teacher with good intentions to say, right, it's the milk, but I've learned, as you said, right, like especially when it comes to getting older, right, propaganda, but and that's why I said the whole thing about drink milk, right? Because I remember the campaign of like how often you would see a celebrity with a milk mustache growing up, and how that was such. Yeah, it was just perpetuated. Like this is what you need. This is what's gonna take you to the next level.
On top of, I don't even know who was paying for it.
Who was paying for it?
Right, it's hella milk companies. Who was paying? Right, what was it? Just the government running this milk campaign? Like, I don't know who was actually part of the Got Milk campaign or what company they was.
To then turn around and say that one of the biggest polluters of this country is cows and methane gas. What's the chances, right? What's the chances that we create this demand, right? We create this awareness, we drive this messaging, and then here we are, right? And we're looking at the outcome of this mass growth of like just cows everywhere, right? And so, yeah, like resistance training and challenging your muscles are essential, especially for elderly people, because they help the bones, like they function together. They don't operate without each other, right? From the tendons to the muscles to the bones, they all are in a harmonious relationship. And so it is a thing where when you challenge them and they're able to maintain their strength, right? Like I've been referencing this as much as possible because it's easy to forget. We come from survival. We come from hunter-gatherers. We come from living a life of physicality to now we have created such an insulated experience of being sedentary that we don't operate to the same degree we used to, right? To have to hunt, to have to scavenge and forage all day, to now it's like, oh, I just go to the refrigerator. It's just a few steps away. right? And so here we are now. As the result, our bodies fall apart, our bodies break down because they're not being used, right? I mean, this could be inaccurate in itself, but I remember there was a phrase that an airplane has to keep flying in order for it to be an airplane. Because if it sits on the runway, it will fall apart. And that's the same thing that I envision when it comes to my body, when it comes to my mind. If I'm not engaging it in some way,
Yeah.
then it's going to fall apart because that's just what happens, right? You leave something untouched, it will find a way to decay on its own, right? It's the care, the maintenance, the intention behind what I'm doing with whatever it is, including my body, including my mind, my heart, my soul, that then helps refine and keep it strong because it's the energy I put into it, right? It's the time I put into it. And yeah, like thinking about it, PE class. Once you out of grade school, there ain't no PE. It's your choice. It's your decision, right? It's not something that's being told to you, right? And so for me, I was fortunate where the concoction of elements and influence resulted in me seeing the benefit in it to then say, all right, now I'm going to find and discover what's my relationship to it, right? Where it's like, these days is for resistance. These days is for cardio. These days are for different forms of exertion because I enjoy the process. I enjoy the refinement, right? Like there is something so like meditative about getting in the zone and just pushing yourself. Like I'm a big supporter of martial arts. And I remember how often some of the practitioners would be so focused on just the practice of whatever the martial art and not on the other elements. And so when it came time to roll or spar, oh, did I have so much fun because I put in that extra time to go do the miles. I put in that extra time to do those reps, to do those sets, to do the extracurricular work where they were like, you're wild, why are you doing that? And then they were like, man, you real strong. Like, man, you really, and I'm like, yeah, you're not tired? Nope. We can go all day, right? And
Oh,
I
yeah.
still maintain that mindset from being in middle school where it's like, tell me what's the number, I'm going past it. Cause I see myself in every image of myself, in every variation of myself that I'm seeking to surpass, including the people around me.
As Figo about the time I ended his streak on the basketball court, because they decided to play a pickup game while I was there.
Decisions, choices, and decisions.
You know, because it's nothing like having like more stamina than the people around you. You
Nothing
know,
like having more stamina, right? Nothing
but
like it.
because part of it is the choice, right? It's like, oh man, I really ended up with this stamina because of the choices I made, right? It's like not a natural thing. I could right choose to lose that stamina at any point, and and it's wild because really, like if you end up with more stamina with somebody, right, you likely worked for it, right, to some degree, right? Because stamina, right, is the result of repetition, right, at a higher clip, right? It's like I can keep that higher clip going for longer. So when you have used all your bursts in this match, I got 10 more bursts. Whoops.
Oh,
So
whoops.
so every rebound, I got another burst. Every possession, I got another burst. The first step. Oh, every shot, all right, I got it. Man, why I gotta be that? How come it can't just be practice? Why I gotta be cyborg or a robot? I,
Either you take the time or the time will get taken. It's
that's
up to
it.
you,
That's it. It's
right?
just priorities, man. It's just a shift in balance.
Shift in balance, key. And it's not to downplay anybody's level of relationship with the physicality, right? Everything is important, but it is to say that the encouragement for health and activity is because I appreciate you all. I appreciate you as people, and I want to be able to experience life in the long
Yeah,
term, right? I want
right.
longevity,
I
right?
want to
I
be
don't want to
here.
I don't want to see you ail. I don't want to see you fall apart. I want to see I want to see you prosper in every way. And this is just another form of prosperity that often is neglected or minimized or put into a box in a category for either consumerism or for something that can be harmful. Because yeah, sometimes PE class can be great and sometimes PE class could be harmful, right? It could be the most nerve-wracking thing if you're self-conscious or you weren't given the experience or the time to develop a relationship with your body, with your functional motor function, right? Like hand-eye coordination, all those things can be a touch point of sensitivity and vulnerability that unfortunately you experienced.
And consumerism will tell you that you have to pay to learn about yourself, that you have to pay to have that experience of self-exploration, to learn about what's happening on the inside, that you have to go to school to find out what's going on and learn about your body from a physical standpoint to an emotional, right, mental standpoint. But a lot of that is there for you under your own time. And I think we saw in previous generations how our parents did not prioritize or didn't allocate time to look after themselves in the best way to have that prosperity that should have been afforded to them.
No, you're right. I mean, it is something that, speaking from personal experience, speaking from my own life, speaking from observation, right? Like you gotta love the internet. You gotta love memes, right? And if you don't, it's okay. You don't have to love them. But for me, there was a meme that was shared from my wife saying, we try to teach our kids through conversation, but they learn through observation, right? And it's like the next slide is, it's a parent with their kid and the parent has a phone, the kid has a phone, and there's another parent, another kid, and they have books. And the parent with the phone is telling the parent with the book, how do you get your kids to read? Observation, right? What is in proximity? What is available? What's the conditioning look like? Because what you prioritize and what you value, they see that. That's where they're going to get it. They're going to learn their value system from your value system, right? It's just like culture. It's just like heritage. It's just like food. It's just like recipes, right? If we eating this and it tastes good, I'm going to watch you make it because I'm going to figure out how to make it myself, right? So when it comes to physicality, it was like, yeah, in my household, like my father watched soccer games. And then to me, it was like, I got the Ninja Turtles over here. I got 3 ninjas over here. I got the X-Men over here. I got Spider-Man over here.
And Surf Ninjas.
And Surf Ninjas, shout out Ernie Reyes Jr., right? Ninja Turtles to the ooze. So for me, I'm like, okay, if I want to do those things, I gotta go to karate class. And if I can't go to karate class, then I'm gonna go in the backyard and I'm gonna go kick the street. I'm gonna kick the leaves, I'm gonna kick the branches, I'm gonna find a way, right? I'm gonna find a way to develop this relationship where the people be like, man, you got good kicks. Little do they know that I just been practicing Ninja Turtle moves forever.
Right. Like
I go to the gym
forever.
and like, oh, have you taken martial arts? I'm like, okay, I may have took capoeira, I may have did some karate, but you know what I did religiously? Pretend to be Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo. Right. And it just so happened that I've been able to maintain some form of limberness and flexibility and functionality, right?
Because of
through
those
that
kicks.
Repetition.
Right.
Because I'm like,
exactly.
In a half shift. You know
right. I got some know-how, right? Because of my exposure, right? And right, the space that I had available to me. Right. It's like
didn't let it go. Didn't let it go.
Kwanzaa.
Just held on, right? Refined it, right? Like I had a cousin who I remember used to try and do these high jump kicks, right? Always like, and then stop doing them. And I'm like, what happened? And now I see the difference where time is caught up and they're not the same person they used to be. And they looking at me like, man, you really put in that work. And I'm like, you good too.
Right. I'm still jumping on dumpsters. I'm still kicking over meter and lights. I mean, not meter and lights. What's the parking meters? I'm still kicking over parking meters, whenever I can. Just to keep it working.
Just to keep it going. Just to keep the functionality there, right? Just because I enjoy it. I have fun doing it, right? Like,
Right. Like, I don't plan on kicking nobody.
yeah, like it changed where I've refined it over time because I've gained insight and expertise from others where I'm able to train in boxing, where I'm able to train in jiu-jitsu, I'm able to train in Muay Thai, where now I can incorporate those lessons on top of the things I was already doing to make it that much more refined, right? Because I'm willing to seek out and be vulnerable in knowing that I don't know, right? In understanding and appreciating that someone has more mastery or more understanding, and all I have to do is ask a question, right? So now I can extend those techniques, those skills to others to utilize in their own day-to-day life so they can have that longevity, that prosperity, and we can share in the fruits of our labor instead of it being like, I got to visit you while you're in the hospital. I got to visit you and we can't do because things have just fallen apart, right?
That's
I
it.
mean, there you go. Shannon got hand-eye coordination because of sports and a mean hook, a mean left hook. Let me tell you, Cross and Shannon with the hooks.
Swag.
I'm
Well, you
just
know,
saying.
I like it reminds me, like I met an artist, a young artist who was 16 years old, had some songs recorded, um, and his friends were playing his songs, and I led a hike, and as we were hiking, just finished the U3 Fit Revive Retreat up in Nevada City, our third one, and we had about 60 people out there. Great time. Youngest person is 14, the oldest person at least 68 years old. So we had a very diverse group of people. But I met a young cat who was rapping. Didn't necessarily, call himself a rapper, nor did he actually. When I asked if he wrote, he said that he didn't write, and he, mostly freestyled when he ever got in the studio. Um, but I wanted to encourage him, right, to continue to make a practice of it, so that if anything, right, no one could steal, what he had written, and recorded. And then at the same time, right, he would hone his own skill and, improve, the more time he spent. So, like, let me tell y'all, Lyrical Ones, Cineo just sent us some beats. He just sent us some musical food, something to eat off of, and had me in that space of throwing kicks like Leonardo. Like, okay, it's some practice coming.
Practice.
Practice coming.
Practice.
Not a game. Not a game. Not a game. More practice.
Just some practice.
Just some practice.
Just some practice.
Oh, we got stuff going on. Speaking of stuff, because we got a few exciting things. One, Dragon Ball Superhero is a film that we're going to check out tonight because it's the last night in IMAX. Two, Sunday, August 29th.
28th.
Saturday or Sunday?
What? Hold on. Am my dates wrong? I don't know anymore. Where's today? Is it, what day is it? Today's the 24th? 28th.
All right, it's the 28th. But it is Sunday, right?
Yes, Sunday the 28th.
Sunday the 28th. Oh, look, the director jumps in. The director jumps in the booth. Yeah, Sunday, August 28th. We got the re-intrication screening, the second iteration, New Parkway Theater, 12 noon, Oakland, California. Be there. Why? Okay. Is this happening tomorrow? Okay.
Yep, poetry exhibition tomorrow at the Brisbane Lunch Truck.
Check the flyer, the blue flyer with the flower. Check the flyer.
Yes. We have a flyer with the flower. It is the poetry exhibition. I'll be there hosting. We'll have Be True come through. Luna Jen once again, Tony Press. And yeah, it'll be just a nice meeting of the creative minds of expression and, you know, kind of where we at with it and what we're doing. And yeah, just a time to like enjoy the art form of spoken word and expression.
We
I
love
think it's,
poetry here.
yeah. I mean, poetry, music, you know, we love everybody lyrical. Everybody got their lyrical abilities. And this is just one of many ways to display them. So yeah, that's tomorrow, the poetry exhibition tomorrow, Brisbane at the Lunch Truck, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's right on Bayshore. You can't miss it. And yeah, it's just a time for us to come together as creatives to spend time and see each other. And then on Sunday, the 28th, again, Regentrification movie. So the Donda Experience 2, as Lyrical Opposition has so poetically framed it, 12 p.m. at the New Parkway Theater in Oakland. It says Mew. Mew won't be there. Mew 2 won't be there, but it is the New Parkway Theater in Oakland, August 28th. And yeah, we just a couple things we got going on right now. You know, there's more to come, more you'll see, more to. There's only more. The beauty in it is there is only more. There's only
That's
more
it.
growth. There's only more to do, more to explore, more to see, more to participate in, more to enjoy.
More love, more community,
Exactly, more healing, more repair, right? More restoration, more
more
restorative care,
rejuvenation, more
right?
domination,
As
more records
Cross
to be broken.
as Cross said, right? Less of the DE and more of the RE, right? Less distraction, right? More recreation, right? More rejoice, right? More to just overall, yeah, like
Less disillusionment,
for real, right?
right? More vision, more imagery, right? More
Exactly,
co-creation.
exactly, right? This is a time of, you know, giving people the ability to not just be inspired and be motivated, but to also find their own way in their own personal discipline for healing, for love, for compassion, for growth and excellence, right? If that's what you choose, as you so see fit. You know, this is us, the Regentrification film, for those that aren't unaware and don't know, this is our chance to be able to address housing as it exists in the Bay Area, if not the world, right? We all want to feel safe. We all want to feel like we have a place to call home. We all want to feel like we can have somewhere where we can, you know, sow our oats or, you know, have our roots take the depth that it needs to get the nutrients to survive, to thrive, to grow. And having a home is essential in that, right? Feeling safe is essential in that. Feeling happy. And reunification is us exploring what are some of the solutions that are currently being developed, but also what can we do as people that are tangible, that are realistic, that can change the tide and something that's impacting us all, right? Not to scare you all,
Nah, but
but
like if you want a child to do well in school, if you want a child to go to school, right, make sure they got a home to come home to, right, to wake up in, right, so that they can get to school and get their free lunch, right? It's like Oakland Unified School Districts, right, got free breakfast and lunch for the entire district. But if a kid is not coming home every day and not waking up, right, to go to school, right, they missing out on the opportunity, right, to feel safe, right, to feel stable, and they may or may not have people around them that believe in them and encourage them or even understand them when it comes to what they struggle with once they get to school or what they've been through on just to get to school, just to arrive each morning. And we in this documentary we see and hear not just some great spoken word, we also get to hear from some people who have, right, navigated through being unhoused and finding, right, housing, and how it's helped them find stability, find confidence, and help them keep their own promises to themselves as they found the confidence to then move forward and kind of let go of what they've been through and not let that what they've done, right, define their lives. Right. It's really important that we always remember that, you know, the mistakes we've made, the missteps that we've had doesn't define who we are. Right. You know, who we know ourselves to be, right, is our true definition. Not how anyone else sees us, not how someone sees us, not what someone says we are, right? Not how anyone else describes us, not the team on our shirt or the name on our back, but who we know ourselves to be. Right on, Mr. Ray. Appreciate you. Who we know ourselves to be, is our true identity. So we're glad to share the stories of these folks who are real people who have an insight that some of us may never have, right? Opening up their doors to us, and we honor the land that we all live on, and we present some spoken word and some poetry that's beautiful, that's heartfelt. And shout out to Figo Navarro, our director, that captured visuals for our camera work, our executive producers for holding us down in the comments. But it's one of those things that's homegrown in a lot of different ways. And shout out to Kirk Davis for giving us the term regentrification. And we're just happy to share it with everybody because it's a long time coming, and it's not the beginning, right? We've been doing this for a while, and it's a continuation because there's more for us to do, and we want you all to be a part of it and feel a part of it and contribute to what's up and coming.
Yes. So the movie, again, will be showing. This is the second iteration of the film that will be a limited screening. This will be the one time you'll be able to see this variation of the film. It will be this Sunday, the 28th at 12 noon, New Parkway Theater in Oakland. It is pinned. Well, it's not pinned at the bottom, but you can find more information at Lyrical Opposition's page. It is something that, we wholeheartedly believe in. Everyone should have a home. Everyone should feel safe. Everyone should have their basic needs met. And this is us starting that conversation and dialogue of what do the solutions look like? What are some of the things that we can do as people? What are the things we need to be aware of in repairing the harm of the past, of addressing the harm of the past, and pursuing something that is worthy of future generations to inherit? I think that, this is a time for us to, housing is a human right. Wealth is a human right. Health is a human right. These are things that are paramount and like a necessity. It's necessary at all points and all times. And so I just hope that people understand that, we're trying to change the game. We're trying to change the narrative of not just people of color that exist within the Bay Area, but people in struggle, people who are experiencing all types of adversity and are trying or seeking to overcome that. This is a film that is, from the roots, from the mud, and it's done by people who have been in ground zero of dealing with gentrification, of seeing what is it like to be stuck in, the constant ebb and flow and struggle of capitalism, economics, and how people can overcome that, how we can address that, how we can combat that, right? We can create resistance in that. So, with that being said, right, Sunday, 828 New Parkway, Oakland.
Shout out to the
12.
Our battle rap genius with all the jutsu available to him, with the elbow, with the lyrical elbows off the top rope, representing Christ to the fullest and stay in his lane. Shout out to the outsiders, our brothers from the East Coast. We love y'all. We go way back to the before anyone ever thought about a pandemic.
To the before time. So again, Sunday, and then again Thursday, tomorrow, we're gonna have a poetry exhibition, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. If you can come by, stay connected, be familiar. It's a moment for expression and sharing in the lyrical arts of inspiration, love, healing, compassion, and there's many things going on with many more things to come. I'm telling y'all, this is just like the start. We just getting started, right? And it's been a long journey. It's been a beautiful journey, and just be aware that what you're witnessing is the beginning of that. There's many things to participate in, but again, your health, your longevity, your prosperity, who you are, what you do with your time, your body, your mind, your heart, your soul. We care about it. We're here for it. We're here to create the dialogue and share space on what are things that we can do as a community to enhance that. And, if you missed out on the conversation in the beginning, we were talking about, how do you become engaged and define that relationship with yourself so you can have prosperity and longevity, so we don't have to visit you while you sick in the hospital, and you able to engage, right? Because some people don't have a choice, right? Some people, it's just what they had, the cards they were dealt. But others, it's the cards we deal ourselves. And that's the thing that I hope people are able to realize in certain regards, that, shout out to Frisco, baby. I will definitely keep you updated, and, appreciate you even acknowledging that you want to help. However possible, it is appreciated. This is what we do. It's about community. It's about healing. It's about restoration and repair. Many people seek to destroy. We seek to create, or at the very least, repair and restore what is already there. Because trust me,
our beloved symbiotic.
Yeah, my
Venom
brother
Vision.
from another master mother, the Venom Vision, T Venom. T Venom, my constant collaborator in arms. It's Street Fighter versus X-Men, Cyclops, Ryu clicking up. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of thing. But yeah, as I was saying, it's just one of those things where I just hope people can really, take ownership, have the ability to have autonomy, to engage with your health, engage with your body, because,
What up, G?
as you said, they ain't giving out PE class no more. They ain't
So
telling you to go.
you're responsible for your own health, for your own finances, for your own growth, right? Your own creativity, right? You got the ability to grow anything that you can envision, right? And if you envision it, it ends up on your heart, right? You already got the tools to see it through. And we are in full support of that, right? If y'all in the business of creating anything, please reach out to us. Please comment, hop in our links, hop in our DMs, and let us know what you're creating, any way that we can hold space for you, anything that you are needing from a creative side, and we're happy to support. Tomorrow in Brisbane at the BLT Lunch Truck, we got a poetry exhibition. Brisbane, California. If you're in the Bay, if you around, what is it, 4 to 6?
It's 4 to 6.
4 to 6 p.m. Come through. Just a poetry exhibition. You'll meet some of our artists that we're affiliated with, some of our longtime collaborators, and you will be able to hear some local poets. And then this Sunday, August 28th, New Parkway Theater in Oakland, California, 12 p.m. Reintrification, our documentary, the second iteration of our film about the housing crisis in the Bay Area. Please come through. We are doing this for all our artists, for all our folks who are in need of healing, for all our folks where we're looking at the community as a whole. And if any of us are forgotten or left out, none of us are where we need to be. So we always are looking ways to bring the community together from one side of the Bay to the other across 5-6 bridges.
Yeah. And I mean, and speaking of support and community, City Cyphers Volume 2 is happening tomorrow night as well. So we have poetry exhibition, right? Lyrical opposition, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. But I got it pulled up right here. Made in the City is going to be from 8 to 11, right? That's later on that night, right? Mr. Ray Beats is providing people with the production and the quality expertise of visual representation for all artists. I was able to go to last month's. It was incredible. I got to see Frisco Baby, Figo, and Afterthought. And, there was other artists who were dope and amazing as well. And it was very motivating and inspiring, like, movement to see, like, everybody coming through with a vicious 16 and just blowing things out the water. And so, yes, my brother from another mass mother, T Venom, will be participating, right? Aaliyah Jayla, who's also in the film, right, is going to also be at City Cyphers Volume 2. So that's from 8 to 11 tomorrow as well. So there's a full day of things to participate in as you so see fit. It's 5750 Mission Street, Made in the City shop. And yeah, connect online in all ways, in every way, because it's a communal movement. Everybody's active, everybody's doing something. the more that we can give the ability for others to be seen, the more we can grow, the more that we can do as a community. So it is important to support the arts, support the creatives, support the people who are speaking truth, and yeah, give them the ability to be seen. So, Affluent, any final thoughts, words for the people of Lyrical Ones, episode 115?
One, shout out to Alice Wonders coming on and holding me down, keeping me safe in the heart. Shout out to the original Miss Mary, Mr. Sunday Gifted. We see you out here. It's good to see you online coming through. Shout out to Felix. Probably one of the only people that I let shoot me as a photographer, for personal use. And then I think when it comes to the summation of the day, the ups and downs of how we respond to legislation and executive orders from the president, we always have to think of ourselves as small businesses within this country that, just like any business, we have to adjust our rates, we just adjust our mindset and our practices based on what's happening in our world. And it's really important that we make shifts. In the past, we used to say, hey, well, we're not gonna give presents for Christmas, we're gonna do Christmas presents for your birthday only, or we're gonna skip a trip this time and do a trip this time. And you do kind of whatever you need to do to make your practices fit what's best for you, because the government won't always do that for you. So y'all remember that as you move forward. This is not about capitalism as much as it's about protecting your health, your heart, and the community around you. Make sure that you are moving towards your purpose and you are listening to what's happening within you, because that's what God has created as your vessel and what you should be. That's your frequency, your tuning fork for listening to the world and what's speaking to you. If you're not listening to what's speaking to you on the inside, all you're gonna hear is what's happening on the outside, and what's happening on the outside, takes a little bit more work to interpret, because it's not necessarily the language you may be used to. But remember, in doubt, if it points you away from self, then it's not doubt you should engage with. And the doubt that turns you back into what's good for you is doubt you should listen to. Chew on that to the next episode. 116 coming. Wrapping it up for 115, episode 115. I'm going to watch Dragon Ball Super because that's what we do in this world.
Go Legend plus Ultra Kaioken times 100. We out.
Love y'all. One. One, one, opposition.